Hey guys, it's nice to be seeing you again. Today we'll be continuing my building an apartment for every single world little series, which I'll be turning to a playlist after this video. Today we are doing Newcrest, the final base game world, and now we are going to expansion pack worlds as well with Magnolia Promenade. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you like this content, but anyway, on with the video. So to start off, we began in Newcrest where I built an apartment that really, I wanted to go for a more modern vibe, because if you look around the area of Newcrest, there's a lot of modern apartment buildings mixed in with traditional designs. Which, again, you can see influences that make me believe Newcrest is another sub-neighborhood of Willow Creek, because they share a very likeness, and it seems like that Newcrest is closer to Magnolia Promenade. But anyway, in this neighborhood, I really wanted to make sure I had that modern design, and I felt like having something on the roof would be particularly I would want to see. Like, I thought that would look really cool, and adding the columns in, I think, helped bring more together, because I was looking around the world and seeing some of these colors and shapes that appeared, and I wanted to make sure I paid tribute to those and fitted them in well. While the hallways may be pretty clean and white, the rooms are more designed to be a little more modern. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to make sure the base of the building was white, but then had some little like accent colors put in to give it that extra detail that made it fit into the world around it. It's pretty blocky, but I'd say it's a good kind of blocky because of all the detail I put in. So I really, when it came to the outside, I knew I wanted tree planters somehow in the little build, but you'll see me turn that little patio area into something else later. Like I said, we'll be going like in an overview of both apartments to show you exactly what each looks like. So when I came to the inside, there's a total of 4 units in the building. There's a rooftop area and there is a ground floor area. Adding in modern doors and windows and also making sure there were multiple exits. This base game door also fit in very well, and I made sure to use some pretty okay stylish doors. These are all family apartments, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. I labeled it as 4 on the gallery just to indicate that there are 4 rooms in here. Just a little heads up on that. I also labeled it as 1 bathroom per each. My hair's all messed up trying to fix that. I combed this right before the video and now it looks bad. I'm not even on the right side where the little lip is. Sometimes my hair doesn't like to do what it wants to do. Less about the hair, more about the video, please. Anyway, so there's this rooftop area I designed. Once I got the base of the building design, I started painting the hallways and getting the stairs configured the way I want them, and I felt like stacking them would have been best. I also made sure to put glass walls in, but the hard part was choosing the wallpaper because I couldn't decide which one would look best in the hallways of this building. I figured out that it was probably just best to go with a basic white color, and we added in some basic lights in the hallways. Now, I did the traditional thing of adding in something to the hallways. Now, let it be known, when this build comes out, I will update it so there are multiple units, and we'll also update it so that there's a mailbox that is appropriate to the building. But anyway, if you look inside, each room has 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and a large living, kitchen, dining area. I painted them basic white with some gray accents because I felt like this was a very modern apartment building. But the biggest thing I also wanted to do is I also want to make sure the kids' rooms had some sort of accent that was a little different, that appealed to kids more. So for the hallways, I put in these giant plants that are hard to put in, some rugs, and I also put those plum bot pictures because I felt like those were something you would see in this apartment. It feels very Sims. And then I made sure to put some seating areas in the hallway just to, you know, give it some life, give it some furniture, make it not stick out like a sore thumb. So when it came to the rooms themselves, I made sure to really go for a modernistic look with these designs, including things like linoleum floors and putting in hard wood with clean accents and everyday counters. I wanted to make sure that these apartments would be very affordable, but still kind of like a little upper on the class level, because let's face it, if you have more Sims in your household, you're going to be able to afford more expensive things. So I wanted to make sure to provide that with this being basically a family condominium thing, which makes it so that there are 2 hangout areas designated for each type of family, whether that's adults or kids. The kitchens I was very proud of, even though they're small, they're mighty, and putting the door, having the shoe rack by the door was also really cool. So the dining table, I really wanted to make sure to give it that family vibe with the colors and accents and really give a rug under it that fit, along with some lights and some plants and a nice modern photo that I liked from the game. I don't really use much of the modern furniture because sometimes it looks weird, but I figured I'd use it in this pack, which really came together, especially that couch. I never used that one before. But what I found really cool here is when I started mismatching furniture, because when I mismatched the couches and the furniture in the living room, I don't know why, but I liked it. Like, it was weirdly mismatched, but it looks good. Like, it doesn't look awful mismatched that way. And that really just continued throughout the build, is this whole idea of mismatching the furniture, which really kind of worked. Like, it looked really good when I finished it, so I wanted to keep it that way. Each bathroom is just a standard shower, toilet, sink, with a few decorations here and there. Now for the bedrooms, both parents' rooms are kind of a little modern. They come with the basic bedroom furniture along with the desk and a computer because, you know, those are essential to every Sims build. And I really liked how I designed this because I made sure to put modern furniture, put sconces on the wall, and get some nice large rugs to put on the floor. I did use a lot of the modern desk furniture that I didn't use before, and it looks really good. It gives me like Spencer Kim Lewis house, if you know what I'm talking about in The Sims 4, that house. But I don't think that's a bad thing. So for the kids' rooms, I want to be able to squeeze at least families of 4 in here. So I used bunk beds to my advantage, and I really wanted to appeal to kids in these rooms, providing some nice toys, dressers, plants, mirrors, even like a Blarfy. I think I picked the dragon version. I can't remember his name, but I picked that one along with the toy chest at the end of each bed and a modern picture in each one. So for the upstairs, this is what I call the adult area. It's kind of like a rooftop lounge area. I included some seating, a barbecue, and a bar along with the telescope later, which I really thought was really cool to have. Another thing I was really proud of is that water feature I have in front of the building. But also, for the bottom floor, just to appeal to kiddos, I had a playground with a pool area and a little garden, along with some loungers. And I felt like that was really nice to have. That way, the parents have somewhere to go, but then the kiddos with their parents have somewhere to go. So nobody gets left out in this apartment building. And I feel like that was a really good idea because I wanted this to be kind of family vibes. That's all I wanted. And it looked really good in the end. So these hedges that I placed were an absolute nightmare because I was trying to figure out how to place every single one so that way everything's covered. And I wanted to use that instead of a traditional fence because I felt like it fit in the neighborhood better. Now, if you notice, I probably didn't add a mailbox nor did I add a trash can there, but I fixed it. So now we're in Magnolia Promenade. Now, if you know, this neighborhood is completely businesses, so I wanted to give it that vibe and wanted to make it fit in. So there's a little bit of story to this. So a long time ago, the board of Willow Creek found this antique bookstore and the old building next door. They both weren't in use, so they were planning on bulldozing them to put up something else. Well, the city was worried about losing their historical bookstore, so they fought with the city to buy the property. Eventually, they raised enough funds to buy the property and converted the building into an apartment building, with the keeping eye to the old antique building of the bookstore. There's also rooftop access where I included the community garden, but more on that later. Right now, as you can see, we got the main pretty much design done. Looking more into what else can we do to make this building look really well. I used a lot of Get to Work stuff because, well, this is that pack. So if you have Get to Work, the base game, and the new pack, you'll be able to use this apartment. Even if you don't have those, you can still use this. I really love the fire escape I built on the back because I felt like that was essential for this kind of apartment. Oh, nope, my video didn't freeze. I thought it froze for a second. I think I was just thinking, because that backyard, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I was really looking into what could I do to make this backyard look really good. And I also tried to mess with the stairs a lot to see if there was anything special I could do to make them look really nice. But I eventually just stuck with the original floor plan and just closed off the stairs that gave rooftop access. So when it came to the bookstore, I wanted to turn the bookstore into kind of like a hangout area for the apartments while the main building had the apartments. And I wanted to use a couple of windows from the base game that really made it give that small town America vibe that you would see throughout buildings. The first floor is kind of more like a lounge area, while the second and third floor are more studio apartments for Sims who are looking for somewhere cheap. While I made the first floor more of multiple kinds of different shared spaces. So, as you can see, I was trying to pay homage to this being the old storefront before it was converted into an apartment building. So there was a lot of windows and oddly, literally large rooms because it showed off that building design. But then it came to redesigning the windows and making sure everything looked right and nice, and I wanted it that way. So then I found that the building looked kind of, a little ugly when it came to the exterior, so I made sure to freshen that up with some of the get-to-work items and also putting up some plants and some awnings, because I knew this pack came with awnings and I thought that would look really nice. And I felt like it really tied the building together, and adding those planters really helped add some more detail that we desperately needed to make this. So for the bookstore, I just added some awnings and some little fake balconies, which I thought were a really good detail. Then there's obviously rooftop access. So next up would come designing the furniture of the apartment. It took me a minute because I had to think about what did I want to make sure this apartment looked good. Because, the apartment didn't look beautiful at the beginning, but then it started looking better. I made sure to include some plants, and I wanted to really pay homage to the factor that this used to be a big apartment building. And it used to be a storefront, and it was so cool. And so when I came to the inside, I wanted to make sure that the two main areas on the one side of the apartment were more designed to be lounge areas after an old storefront. And I wanted to make it look older, so I made sure to put linoleum floors like literally everywhere. So there's also the old bookstore, which I said, again, I converted from its old antique design into kind of like a shared space that you could definitely use. And so, yeah, I thought that was really good and effective. So the doors I used were those ones from the base game, which I thought were good because of the windows up top. I just felt like those would fit into this apartment well. And then came in designing the actual house itself. Like I said, I used a lot of get-to-work stuff to really make this appeal. And especially for the bookstore, I used all kinds of stuff to make it feel like it's still the old bookstore, but it's been renewed. So I found a lot of furniture that I enjoyed. I even used bookshelves from Get to Work because they look so good, these giant wooden bookshelves. And I put plants in front of windows and seating areas. So basically the first floor of the bookstore is kind of like a lounge area. It's a place for your Sims to sit and read books and just hang out together as bookworms. I thought it was a really cool idea to make it be like the bookstore is still there, but it's more used for everyday Sims now. And using a lot of Get to Work furniture, it really made me go, I like how that's designed. So when it came to the front of the building, I made sure to include some outdoor furniture to really bring the building together and make sure it looked really nice. And if you want to, you could turn this into a retail building. I don't mind. But when it came to the lounge area, I made a computer room and then I made a sitting room. So for the computer room, it's just where the old storefront most likely was. And we put a nice big rug and got some nice furniture and a lamp. It was really good. I liked that. In the backyard, I was still having problems with figuring out what exactly I wanted to do with that. And we'll see how I figured that out later. But when it came to this main area right here, I wanted to mismatch furniture, make it look like the city thrifted a lot of this furniture from the area to fix up this old apartment and make like a sitting area with some music and some books and like stuff where people can go to hang out in a shared space. It's not much, but it's nice. So when I came to upstairs, we officially began starting the apartments, which I put little rugs in front of each apartment because I felt like it was nice and added some extra detail that we wanted, along with a bulletin board and just some hallway items to give it that extra detail that we needed to make it look like it's been lived in. So for the upstairs of the library, I converted it into a lounge and dance hall, which I thought was a really cool idea, making it kind of give speakeasy vibes, but still like, you know, a great place for your Sims to go if there's adults in this building and show that there's still new life coming with this old apartment building. So when it came to the apartments, each one's a studio apartment. Basically, the only separate room in each apartment is the bathroom, while the rest of the rooms are more just bed, kitchen, living room, dining, all mashed into one room. I used a bunch of old furniture in this to make it look like the building's kind of old and like some things got renewed while some are still pretty cheap. But that doesn't mean it can't be nice. So as you can see, the bathroom is very basic. And then came the living room, which I know that's technically a prison bed, but I feel like showing off old furniture like that can be moved around really makes me think like, oh yeah, they definitely converted this into a new apartment for Sims who are looking for somewhere to live. And I thought it was really nice, especially getting everything put in and finding the right cabinets and getting small kitchenettes made. And I really liked it in the end when we kept adding more things and I figured out exactly what I wanted to do with this. Now remember, you can do whatever you want with this. You can delete all the furniture. You can not even turn this into an apartment if you want to. It's all up to you. I make this for you guys. You guys get to do what you want with it. Some apartments were lucky enough to get a couch and a TV in them because there was some extra space, but some apartments were not so lucky. But yeah, I want to make sure all the furniture looked kind of old and kind of thrifted. Some balconies I made sure to be different, so one has some gardens while the other may just have a few sitting areas. So for the upstairs, there's a slightly different size apartment. I even include some get-to-work posters in them. But the upstairs, there's one apartment that's super small if you're looking for a really tiny home for your Sim that's, you know, like getting along in life, trying to figure out what they want to do with life, or needing a first place to live. It's very small, like everything's kind of squished in together. And I like this one because it really adds some extra like challenge, trying to figure out how do I decorate a place that is so small my Sims don't even know what to do. Like, I thought it was really cool and a nice challenge to work with. And I ended up finding things that I really liked when it came to putting this specific room together. Especially adding things in like TV plants, dressers, mirrors, and really finding things, extra things I could add to really improve the overall design of that particular build. And now there's one more room upstairs, which is just a standard double bedroom, which is really nice. I like the design of it, and it really appealed to me because it had some nice design and some pretty small furniture, but still looked really nice in the end. So lastly is the community area. So I finally here figured out what I wanted to do with the backyard. I made it a kind of barbecue / children's playground area. I wanted to make sure parents can watch their kids play, and the garbage is also back there. But upstairs, I like this part. It's a community garden that I decided to put up there as the citizens wanted to also bring some green to this neighborhood. Now that we're done, I'm going to move on to the portion where we talk more about how we designed the actual building, and we're going to do a little tour. Alright, so first up here we have the Newcrest condos, which I really liked making the modern building. Now, if you look at the world around, like I stated earlier, you got a lot of modern buildings, which is probably supposed to be the downtown area of Willow Creek. So I really wanted to go with a family vibe for this building while providing both aspects of children's entertainment, but also adults entertainment. So each apartment is the exact same style. They all have the same setup, same furniture and idea. Like I said, if you want to leave old furniture, you can. The hallways are pretty generic with sitting areas and so much more. I also have the little fountain I put up front, but also here on the first floor is a pool area with some monkey bars and a community garden, along with the trash bins. I wanted to give it some sort of vibe to help out providing people with ways that the children can entertain with their families. Same thing as for the upstairs apartments and floor, but the top floor I also really like because I added more of an adult hangout area where they have a telescope, a grill, some nice sitting area, and this bar. I really think it was a good idea, and I especially love how I put the plants in. This just feels like this fits in the neighborhood. Now, I could have done something similar to that, but I liked having this modern design a lot more. And I think it's pretty cool. And both of these are up on both of these builds are up on the gallery, so you can download them, and I will try to update a new version of them when the pack comes out. So next up we have the Magnolia Promenade building, which I named the Librarian's Apartments. Now, the reason why I named it that is because I stated earlier about the whole bookstore situation and the whole city coming together, and I really like the design that came out in this. As this is known for being the retail district, if you have Get to Work, the base game, and a new pack of uses, even if you just have the base game and the new pack, you can use this, and this is also available on the gallery. But let's go ahead and give a tour. So the first floor is a computer room and a lounge area. I wanted to make it look like some of the furniture was thrifted and some of the stuff came from like the old offices that used to probably exist around here, providing some still making that little look like it's an old retail store. Over here in the bookstore, I used some antique bookshelves from the pack that I thought were really cool, and this grandfather clock was really nice, and I liked making this front desk that way. I can put myself on the floor here. That way, when you enter this, it feels like a nice, grand library that used to be a fully operational bookstore. And I personally really like the design that came out. So for the second floor on top of the bookstore, I made like a bar/dance hall because I thought Sims need somewhere to entertain themselves, especially since there might be some other Sims that might show up that aren't necessarily building. This will definitely be a good shared space. So each apartment's pretty much the same. I'm going to go over the ones that are kind of different. So this is the single bed apartment. Comes installed with a nice kitchen. You can see I have the Get to Work calendar right there. And it also has a small TV. I used a lot of Get to Work stuff along with some posters from packs and made sure the walls look kind of old and the tile look kind of old with the linoleum flooring and so much more. Other apartments may come with a bigger living room with an actual sitting area that's a little more not cramped and some bigger kitchens. I also provided a fire escape, like I stated earlier, that I really enjoyed building with a little sitting area and plants also on it. So before I go on the upstairs, we also have the back area, which is just a nice family hangout spot at the playground, and the 2 benches, which I know there's a playground nearby, but I thought it was a fun addition. So up here, the only really different apartment is this one right here, where it's really cramped, and if you want your Sims to have like a studio apartment design, you can really move them into this one right here, as it's very cramped and has very small things. Oh my gosh, there's no door to the rooftop access. Wait, when did that happen? Okay, I will go ahead and fix that. Oh, I'm so glad I noticed that. Okay, I've updated it, so now the one with the correct door is there now, so there's no problems. But if you go upstairs, there's also a rooftop garden that I included along with a little telescope C, and I really like the addition of the air conditioners to help add some more. So what do you guys think of the apartments? I love this little series we're doing. I'll keep doing this. Even if the pack comes out and we're not finished with the series yet, I'm going to continue to do it. Besides, I got to do something for Tamarang anyway when the new world comes. But I want to get your guys' opinions. So the next 2 worlds are Windenburg and San Myshuno. So I would like your guys' opinions. What are some ideas you would like to see me incorporate for building design styles for apartments? Now go ahead and think of ones that would fit in well with the worlds, and I would love to hear what you guys would think. You can even give me ideas of like style, like is it gonna be this, is it gonna be that? Just keep in mind it needs to be base game and, well, this new world. And I can't wait to see you guys again soon, but just keep in mind it has to be base game and the world, so I can have some limitations and not have it so that certain people have to have all the packs in order to play the pack. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!